Hello, everyone, and welcome. I am Gary Godsoe. Welcome to Velocity Online Racing's coverage of the VOR ICONIC Series, coming to you today for round 4 of season 5 from Iowa Speedway for the Iowa 200. Joining me in the booth, as always, is Kyle Klendworth. Kyle, welcome to Iowa, a track that you like a lot. These cars race very well here. We're going to see a fast lineup as we got times in the 190s already clocking in for qualifications. How about it? How's it look out there?
It's going to be fast, it's going to be fierce, and it's going to be really fearsome. You've got a lot of drivers who've got a lot of speed today and who've qualified up front who maybe aren't the best at finishing races. Keep your eye on Matty Sinclair. He's been bad fast in practice. He's on the provisional pole right now, and anytime I ever see this dude start on pole, he leads until something goes wrong. Either it's a pit stop or it's a little bit of lap traffic or dirty air, and then he always seems to put himself in a deeper hole. But I'm counting on my guy Matty today to get the job done. He's my pre-race pick. I think he's got it figured out around this joint. If he can survive the treacherous turn 2, where we've seen so many people lose it today, I think he's going to be the race winner. But just as I say that, Julian knocks him off the provisional pole with just just 1 minute left to go in qualifying here.
Yeah, a 193.5, Julian to the top. Sinclair 193.3. There we see Julian completing his second lap. Everybody in the 190 bracket all the way down to P17 and then P18. Weber at a 189.4. Pataskowitz at a 184.8. And Walker, I believe, has a penalty he is serving. Unfortunately, with the possibly it might have been a couple races ago with contact with Julian. Something that we will talk about today. So he will be getting the DNQ and starting from the pits. 34 seconds left, or at least the end of line, and a DNQ in terms of a penalty. But he will be making the race regardless, just at the end of the lineup. But 23 seconds left now to play in qualifying. I think everybody has taken their laps. Let's get the weather conditions off. You got a good chance to stare at them, but a 10-mile-per-hour wind from the southwest, 70 degrees ambient temperature, 96 degrees track temperature. That might be the number that plays with these cars the most. We talked about stint lengths, and we think anywhere between 60 and 70. And of course, if you get closer to that 70, you've got to do a lot more conservation. And the closer to that 70 number you get, Clendy, the better you get at shaving off a stop at the end of this race.
Yep. With 200 laps, if you can run 67 laps every stint, and you get to run 66 one time, you get to cut a stop. So getting past the 65 lap threshold, which I think is where the tanks normally go, this track is not that long. It's only 0.88 miles. It's like, what is that, 7/8 of a mile?
Yeah.
So 7/8 of a mile, saving 2 gallons or 2 laps of gas is like saving 1 extra gallon, or, it's not that hard over a 60 lap run. Lift a little early, sniff a little draft, you'll find those extra 2 laps. Just will the tires last that long, and will the race go green? I think drivers are going to do everything they can to not pit under green today, just because it's effectively a 2-lap penalty to whoever the leader is.
And you
unless you are the leader with a sizable lead.
True, and you must enter off the backstretch into turn 3, so that's going to make even getting on the pit road even slower. But we got 2 laps before we go green. Plenty of time to bring you the starting lineup here. And our series champion on the pole, Julian, as mentioned, getting that pole fast lap, 193.5. Sinclair right next to him, a 193.3. Strauss and Christensen on row 2. Silvazzi and Kinder in row 3. Solwedge and Hesse back on row 4, and Sanchez and Miller on row 5. Coker and Inch on row 6. Pim Van Gastel and Wagner. Now that is Jean-Luca Wagner. That's not Matty Wagner, but that's Jean-Luca, and making their first start in the series here. They're lining up on row 7. Perry and Tessera back on row 8. Steiger and Weber on row 9. Pataskowitz and Orman back in row 10. Jesper making the worst the first challenge here. I trust that he will be a player at the end of this if no one takes him out. That's typically how these things roll out here sometimes. That is row 10. And finishing up is Walker, starting shotgun on the field there in the P1 Mobile. And that's our 21 car field.
I think the most important foot today for Jesper and those in the back will be the left foot. You got to be able to brake and check up when there's something happening in front of you, because I'm certain there will be many drivers who are not up to the challenge of turn 2. It's very difficult. This setup is very fast. It's much faster than the iRacing default setup, almost a second faster than the lap times you'd be running on the iRacing default setup here. So taking care of your equipment and managing the lines, there are like 3 usable lines here, will be the most important factors for these drivers today.
Four sets of tires for these cars, 3 in the pits, 1 on the car, 85% fuel, 200 laps, 170 race miles, 40 miles per hour pit road speed. If you enjoy Velocity Online Racing's coverage of the VOR ICONIC Series and respect the stream, please do us a solid. Make sure you support us by subscribing. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash like and click the bell so you don't miss out on future VOR iRacing broadcasts. Coming to the green flag, this time by the VOR Iowa weekend starts now a week early. Green flag in the air for the ICONIC Series. They're kind of bunched up in the back. Oh, car sideways. That is Coker. And I don't think anything touched him.
Gary, this was not turn 2. This was the apron being bad. Coker just dipped his left sides down there, but no worse for wear. No one hit him. He hit nothing. Just a harmless little spin. We're going to rack him up again, single file, and we'll get this thing started.
Yeah, let's check this out. No harm, no foul. As he turns down into the corner. A lot of grip. It's that bump. It's right after the bump. And he gets the, that's what did it. But everyone did a great job behind him. That is Pim. And did he keep it off the wall? Oh, a little bit of contact.
No, he hit the wall. It didn't seem that hard, though, and I'm not seeing any obvious scrapes on the car. Pim might have suspension damage, but everything seems to be straight on his car right now.
Hopefully that is...
He's pulling down to the pits, though, so maybe not.
We'll see. Hopefully he is okay and get that work taken care of. Nothing like having to get damage taken care of on the first lap and the first turn. But you definitely a new front nose as you see that all crumpled up.
So the nose cone will take 5 extra seconds off the stop. Stops are usually 8 if he's choosing to get tires replaced, and he went up on the pneumatic jack. So we'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that just like it was just the nose.
14.3 in the box and enough time to get it down and around. Popping off the tank and throwing on maybe a new set of tires. We'll see. Probably.
He absolutely did. He went up on the jacks and back down.
And enough time to rejoin into the field. And then the process, Coker coming in now, along with Ryan Walker. So this might be very simply to, probably in the case of Walker, top off the tank. Maybe in the case of Coker to top off the tank and get a new set of tires. There we see Walker coming in, missing his marks, but getting on him now, not going up on the jacks, just topping off the tank. Coker coming in, going up on the jacks. He'll get a new set of tires and top off the tank, so he's good to go. So these guys can go a little bit longer into this first stint.
Yeah, and from a competitive advantage standpoint, right, they were back there anyway. The save will now be easier for them, and in Coker's instance, his tires were hot because he spun. So since he put on new cool tires, he's gonna be able to save and not be at a disadvantage from having spun at the very beginning. The only thing he's down now is that extra set of tires should we see a late race yellow.
Dorian just jumped in, says, hot dang, I just jumped in. What happened? Well, it's a turn 1, lap 1 incident featuring Shane Coker just grabbing a little too much of the apron, and as we like to say here on a program and on the P1 channel, apron bad, and spun the car around. Unfortunately, did a little contact, or at least taking evasive action, was Pim Van Gastel, who made contact with the inside wall, and looks like he is okay. New front wing at the very least on his car. And we are back ready again to go green here, coming to lap 6 of 200 here in the early stages of this Iowa 200. Christian Steiger up 3 spots already. Jesper up 3 spots. A couple drivers in the rear making some moves to get some easy positions here on the restart. Green flag in the air. It is Altena, Sinclair, Strauss, Christensen, and Salvazzi, your top 5 in the 1.
I'm really surprised Julian left all that space to his right on the restart open, and no one behind took advantage of it. It was very orderly, where many drivers could have had the opportunity to have a big jump and make up some spots there.
Oh, car sideways.
Off
And that is Austin Perry. Austin Perry and the Naked Clown car, but it's not bringing out the caution.
Same, or second first, same as the first. Left side's down on the apron, just trying to do as much as he can to cut distance off this track, but he kept it off the racing surface, so no yellow.
We'll see
what happens. He's about to go a lap down here to Julian. This is going to get interesting. He's going to be able to defend his position here for as long as he stays in front of Julian.
He'll try to cut to that
he's
here.
Gonna roll over though.
We're gonna see. Yeah, he turns in and cuts a little bit down, and yeah, that's what happens. Yeah, a lot of apron. Well, a little bit of apron, not a lot of apron. Anyways, yeah, leaders are around him as he's trying to come back up to speed. Now, importantly, stay out of everyone's way. As once you get passed by the leader, there is the VOR blue flag rule that everyone must adhere to. Meanwhile, back up front, battle between Strauss and Christensen. Move Strauss. Actually, move Christensen up a position. Sinclair, fastest lap that time by.
Yeah, he is dogging Altena. He's just one car width back. Gotta be a little disciplined. You can't just burn through your tires. You'll really regret it come lap 20.
Christensen setting the purple lap, 188.8. Three-car battle here. 1 is for track position, 2 are for position. This is Steiger and Wagner, with Perry on the high side.
I think Strauss is going to get caught by Christensen here in just a handful of laps. Christensen's been just a sliver faster these past few laps.
Iowa, long time track on the IndyCar schedule. These DW12s did run here back in the day.
Man, that makes me feel so old, thinking that this is an old track. I remember when it opened.
Scott McLaughlin holds the track record of 188.2 set last year. And you saw 190s by these guys in qualifying, so they are faster than the existing track record. The career wins leaders here at Iowa. Joseph Newgarden is the undisputed king of corn with 6 wins in the last 12 races here. Brian Hunter-Ray has 3. Franchitti, James Hinchcliffe each have 2. And the 2024 NTT IndyCar Series winners here last season were Scott McLaughlin and Will Power. And this also is a track that, believe it or not, Scott Dixon has never won at. Second all-time winningest driver in IndyCar history, never a W here at Iowa.
They have, I guess, Dixon has 2 more opportunities this year, and should he sign again for the year after, 2 there.
Is this a contract year for him?
I think it might be. He might be considering.
And he's on the doorstep. Only about 6 or 7 more victories behind AJ in terms of the all-time lead. Ooh, that's Solwedge coming off a 2. Got close to that wall. It comes up and greets you really fast, and Hesje's going to have his high side pass on him. Move Hesje now up to 7th. Solwedge recovers, keeping it in 8th.
Well, let's make sure he didn't overheat his tires there the next few laps. He's a little squirrely there. Seems to be taking care of them now, backing up each corner. Good discipline there. Julian's now on another lapper. This time it is Askowitz. By without issue, so does Sinclair.
Scott Dixon is at 58 wins in his career. AJ Foyt at 67. So 9 more wins. And really, he can do that. He's got plenty of time. He's not that old. Scott Dixon only 44. And still putting wins on the board. Oh, Miller, I think got into the back of Solwedge because now Miller's showing damage on his front wings.
Yeah, that left wing plane looks a little crumpled up.
He wanted to get close, just not that close. Here's a new camera angle that will show here, out right over the rear attenuator. These guys working the gears. Just not on the pedal and turning left here. There's work to be done in these cars.
Strauss is closed in on Sinclair as they've navigated these lappers. I think Strauss's patience with the throttle earlier is going to pay large dividends here as this run progresses.
Christensen trying to get around Austin Perry. Perry did not give him a lot of room off the corner exit, but Christensen gets around.
When the lap car commits high, right? The cars on the racing line want to exit the corner high, so you've got to pick one lane or the other, and it's hard to wrap the yellow line all the way around. So, and plus the leaders want the yellow line or the bottom in the middle of the corner, so you can't be in 2 places at once.
Orman with a power move on the high side pass over Weber, now to the inside of Steiger. Side by side coming off the corner. He tucks back in behind Steiger. Now he goes to the high side. This is where he got the pass done on Weber. Gets the run, does a crossover now, side by side at the start-finish line, and will pull the pass off. Move Jesper now up 7 spots to 13th.
12 more to go, Jesper. You got this.
33 of 200. We are halfway through the first stint. We could probably get close to that 70 window because of that first caution. Julian.
Everyone. Oh, Miller is out of shape and crashed on the backstretch.
Oh yeah, and he's. I don't think we're going to see a caution because he's well out of the racing line, but he is unable to keep the car righted, and he has the tow. Let's see what happens. Miller, winner last season in this series, to the inside of Solwedge. Postic staying high. Miller turns in, getting the position. Solwedge now gets a big run. That late entrance and just boots Miller.
Yeah, I think that's like the #1 rule of auto racing. You don't hit what's right in front of you. So it's where the left foot comes in handy. You just tap that brake and avoid any sort of contact.
So that is day done for Miller. Back in a battle for 14th, Weber and Walker. Weber keeps the position.
One thing we want to watch here, Gary, in about 12 laps at lap 50, if any drivers feel like tires are better than fuel, you could see them chop the race into fourths instead of into thirds, where they'll stop at 50, 100, 150 instead of at 67, 140-ish. I doubt you'll see it, but there might be a gambler.
Weber, Walker, Teixeira, Steiger, all in this battle right here, and it's getting tight, folks.
Yeah, they saw Jesper Orman walk away, and they said, "Oh, I want to be that fast."
Caution. Godsoe edge. Middle of the backstretch.
That's that treacherous turn 2.
And I think I went back a little bit too far. I think he had a problem off of turn 2 the next lap, so we'll see. I would imagine everyone's coming to pit road this time by. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Maybe not
those that stopped early.
Coker. Yeah, Coker and Van Gastel might not be able to take
Ryan Walker maybe as well.
Well, I think Walker didn't go on the jacks. Walker just got gas. So Walker could come in and get tires if he wanted. At some point, those drivers who pit at the beginning will choose not to take tires again, but it may not be this time.
Look at all the and in front of him, Austin Perry might have had a similar issue.
Perry hit the apron again, and that's why he over-rotated.
Yeah, I went back a little too far. But, yeah, you're going to see here on the inside of the corner. Went back a little too far. Sorry, good thing we're only talking about 20-second laps here. So these replays go by pretty quickly. But I'm going to show you on the telestrator. Oh, look at all these tire marks going to that inside wall coming off of 2. Oh, yep, there it is. He grabbed the apron, caught it. And at that point, he's in the dirty air of Christensen. And look at all these skid marks already going into the. Yeah, and then right behind him, here comes Soledge. Same spot. Excuse me.
Couple of updates here from pit road. Christensen and Kinder are both topping off. Coker, Van Gastel stayed out just like we thought they might. And Strauss got by Sinclair during the pit stops.
Yeah, see
Altena's topping off.
Yeah, see Julian on pit road. So Team AA making a decision here to bring their drivers down pit road and to top off.
Wonder what the math is here. Are they they're gonna try to go 2 more stints of like 73.5 laps each?
And they are deep in the field here. Very deep in the field. So Coker is on the lead lap. Yeah, so he is actually our leader now.
Host with the most.
And Pim Van Gastel second. So Pim was involved in that early incident. He seems to be okay. Strauss, he pitted under lap 42 and did not come back in for a top off. He is going to be our leader on the next strategy. So you have the strategy of those that pitted very early in that first caution, and then you have a strategy of those that just pitted right now. The early caution guys are Coker and Van Gastel, 1 and 2. And then starting in third is everyone that just pitted now, which is Strauss, Sinclair, Savazzi, Hesche, Wagner, Sanchez, Orman, Inch, Steiger, Weber, Teixeira, and then after Teixeira, everyone else behind Teixeira came in one more lap after the top off the tanks. So that's the fuel situation that we have on the racetrack. We are at lap 44 of 200, coming to 45. Green flag will come out this time by your leader is Shane Coker. Pim Van Gastel second. Strauss, Sinclair, Silvazzi on the prime strategy are third, fourth, and fifth. Green flag in the air. Here we go again.
I know that you said earlier that Van Gastel looked like he was up to pace. His best lap is 0.2 slower than everyone else in the field, so he might have a little bit of rear toe damage.
And he gets passed by Strauss right away. Here's Matty to the inside, hitting that bump in the corner between 1 and 2. So Vazzi's going to take it 3 wide and gets 2 spots, 1 for track position and 1 for points paying position. Moves Silvazzi up to 3rd. Actually, both were points paying, yep.
Strauss is making his move on Coker.
And Strauss now is the leader.
Yeah, 38 lap pressure tires you cannot defend against. It is like a cheat code. Now Sinclair is probably going to want to try to dog Silvazzi here and hope that Coker kind of takes the line that Silvazzi wants and Sinclair can capitalize.
Julian making passes on the outside on Ryan Walker, now looking on Weber. Hopefully no one comes up with the Julian. That's
don't
been
jinx him, Gary.
Yeah, I don't want to jinx him, no. That's what happened to him in the last race that we saw. The driver, he went on the outside of Gateway. Driver on the inside just came right up on him, and there's a car in front of him, and Julian's in it!
Gary, how dare you!
No! And so is Christensen. So both of the AA cars are in it.
So it looks like Rick Sanchez got run into the back of by Steiger.
So Sanchez swapping lanes there on the front straight. He's going on the outside of that that blue and white car there. That's Pataskowitz. And then, yeah, goes in. And how Dan Inch gets forgiven on that one. iRacing forgave him.
Yeah, he had his whole nose cone embedded in Steiger.
And it's not Pataskowitz, excuse me. That might have been John Luca. John Luca? Yeah. In that white car. And it reminds me of the old HP car that was in the league. So, gosh, what a... that just really changes things up now all of a sudden.
Yeah, now there are only 14 cars in this field. Julian's not done for the day. He only has 21 minutes of optional damage.
Let's take a view from Julian's car and just see how quickly everything happens in front of him.
Coker and it looks like Orman are coming to pit road here to go on to the 50-lap strategy.
Sometimes, just insult to injury, his teammate gets ejected on top of him. Just insult to injury, unfortunately. Another race
is not taking tires here, but Coker is.
Another race where Julian is snake bitten. And let's bring up the driver's points really quick. Liam O'Sullivan not into today's lineup. So Jesper Orman is looking to, with a good finish here, to move past Liam. Silvazzi, same thing for Patrick again, and he's in second spot. And at this point, he's got to know that if he came into this race in second spot and Liam's not here and Jesper's behind him, that he is in a position where he can capitalize here. We thought he would do the same thing at Milwaukee, and then he ended up getting into an incident. Let's see if he puts the other half of this race together now and just really brings the car home safely, because that will be the big payoff for him, as he's now in second and could potentially take over either second in the points or the lead, depending on where Jesper finishes. Matty Sinclair, fourth in the points. Matty, third on the racetrack. Heshy, fifth in the points, fourth on the racetrack. Strauss, sixth in the points, your leader. Pim Van Gastel, seven in the points, and Pim is currently in ninth. Julian, unfortunately, is out in eighth, or at least he's going to be on pit road for a while. Weber, he is currently in 14th, and Coker back on the racetrack in 10th, and he's in 10th in points. So still a lot of players surviving out there, but we're going to see some points movement here because of some of these cautions. Strauss, Silvazzi, Sinclair, Heshy, Inch, your top five, and how Inch got no damage out of that incident, I don't know.
I have a theory, Gary.
Okay.
Inch is American. His ping to the European server is much higher than other drivers. I would assume that iRacing gives him a bigger bubble or a bigger grace period for when those types of contacts happen, and it let him get on scot-free.
Pim and Orman around, and Strauss has a purple lap around Coker. Coker back to 11th. Orman now up in the top 10, up 10 spots to 10th. He's chasing down Pim Van Gastel. Potaskowitz now chasing down Coker. So that is a very plausible scenario that you just talked about, where this is a European race server we're on, and maybe Inch is forgiven a little bit. Pim and Orman side by side, back for 10th and 9th and 10th. There we go. Strauss, another purple lap.
Orman and Coker are the only two drivers that came to pit there with Pim Van Gastel and Protaskowitz. So they're kind of on a secondary strategy to the rest of the leaders, because everyone who was on the Altena strategy just crashed.
We have 12 cars still running at the moment. We have a number still on pit road getting work done from their various incidents. When 21 cars start this race, 62, now soon to be 63 of 200 laps completed.
Eshy's got company from Ryan Walker. Ryan Walker doing the true worst to first today. Probably the brightest two cars on the racetrack right now.
Walker is based off the Will Power Indy 500 car, I believe, from 2022. Double check that. That's actually my car. I should know that, but I always get it confused with 2021. I think that's 2022. Yeah, 2022. The Verizon livery he had there. And it kind of fit in well with the P1 colors, so we went ahead and Actually, originally it said something else on the side, but went with those colors as well. But when we moved to P1, and those colors went on just as nice on it. So that's why he's sporting the P1 colors. But you can join myself and Ryan, as well as Antonio Estrada, most Saturdays starting in March for the IndyCar iRacing Series. Saturday top split, 2 p.m. Eastern. First race at Sebring in March.
And then Julian set up the VOR IndyCar Series, the DW12s, to run after IIS, right?
So the
doubleheaders.
There's actually going to be a couple. Most of the times we try to schedule those away from IIS. Not in all cases, and if there's any crossovers, I'll be doing the IIS race, and I believe we'll have David Kreutz, who did the IR18 races with FTN, the VOR IR18 races with FTN back in season 11, 12, somewhere in there. He will be doing the IndyCar Championship races on VOR on races that I'm unable to do that, so we got that covered.
All right, the first strategy domino has fallen. Ryan Walker has surrendered his position on the racetrack to cut this race into thirds. He wants to pit on 71, 142, and then go all the way home. He's the first one to pit under green today.
New camera angle here. Very reminiscent of that Robbie Gordon shot in the 94 Indy 500 going down the front straight, just right over the left rear, the suspension. And now he's back rolling.
Now he really needs to beat Strauss out, who's on the front stretch now.
No, he's not going to beat him.
All right, so he's 2 laps down now, so he's going to have to fight here to get one of them back. Kinder will get by. He'll slot in right behind him.
Checking chat. 8 cars in one. Yeah, that happens. That does happen. Especially right after a restart when there's close proximity to these cars. Sometimes ARCA brakes.
The Bean Man has an appropriate name, Gary. He's good at counting things. They call it counters. Bean counters.
Sometimes the old ARCA brake situation happens where you just, the closing rates on these cars, we've talked about it a number of times, is so high that even if you had time to get on the brakes in some of these instances, you're never going to come to a complete stop or fully miss an incident if it happens right in front of you. It really comes down to luck in a lot of cases, but sometimes there is the old ARCA brake case where I'm just going to try to aim my way through it and not hit the brakes at all, and then that sometimes just makes things worse.
All right, we are in the Orman zone of the run. He's now passing cars high and low. He's gotten by Tessera and Ench in the last lap, and now he'll put his sights on Seb Kinder, who's well up the road. And under attack now from Ryan Walker on those fresh tires.
I love this camera angle. We'll be using this quite a bit.
Walker's got about 4 seconds he's got to make up on Strauss. If he can do that, he'll put himself so he's only 1 lap down. Being 1 lap down means you can take the wave around if there's a yellow that comes out. But if this race goes green to the finish, I think Walker will have it in the bag, just due to the pace differential he's logging right now.
Trying to go to the outside of Heshe. Now he goes to the inside.
There's like standing still. Like I said, it's that cheat code.
And now he's going to roll up on Sinclair. And look at the closing rate there. Oh! And on by Ryan Walker goes, and he's still only inside of 10 laps. So these cars in front of him on 41 lap old tires. This is 10 lap old tires.
And he's consistently 0.3, 0.4 of a second faster than these leaders who have clean air. And he's in there dirty air and still putting a hurting on him.
He is currently last in the running order at the moment in terms of those cars running on the racetrack. But he is probably the fastest car on the racetrack by a long
wide
shot.
Margin.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He's turning 17 threes, and everyone around him is 17 sixes, 17 sevens. And I'm sorry, I had the tree up the whole time with their fastest laps. That's not going to tell you anything. Let's get to the intervals here and tell you where everyone stands. Oh, and he's around Strauss here. So he goes back to, gets one of his laps done back. Try to give you a better idea of gaps. He will pay attention to some of these closer battles. And the closest one on the racetrack is this one right here. Sinclair and Salvazzi. Tessera and Orman's getting pretty close. We're also to the point, Clindy, that there's with only 12 cars on the racetrack, you'll be racing fewer and fewer people, even though this is still a pretty tight little race course, that we might not see any more cautions from here on out unless we saw a lot of people having trouble off at 2 in practice. We start seeing that in the race.
Well, I think that's why Walker abandoned ship on his previous strategy. Oh, he almost runs over Protaskowitz there.
That's for position, so Walker now up to 11th and is the lead car off one lap off the leaders.
No lucky dog here, though, so one lap down is one lap down no matter where you are.
Julian says he has 11 minutes of repair left.
Mark your calendars, folks. 4:55 Eastern Time. Julian will return to the track. Set your alarm. Don't miss it.
Sinclair and Salvazzi side by side through 3 and 4. Sinclair on the high side, getting the position.
Those Mansell liveries today have been eating good up there by the wall. Sinclair's also reeling in Strauss, who's having difficulties getting by Protaskowitz. Look at the pace differential.
Hey, people watching at home, if you like what you see and want to be part of future races of the VOR ICONIC Series, click on the VOR Discord invite in the description to sign up today. The car is free. It's part of your iRacing base package. Joining the league is free. All you need is a desire to race and win, and that tracks on the schedule. If you think you got what it takes to race with the VOR ICONIC Series drivers, we encourage you to sign up today. All that information you need starts right in the stream description. Coming to the halfway point here at Iowa Speedway, your leader, Matthias Strauss, who is now 56 laps into his stint. We suspect that he's coming to pit road about any time. Sinclair, Salvazzi, Hesche, your top 4 all in the same boat. First car not in that same boat as Jesper Orman in 5th, 45 laps on his stint. And a little bit further back, Ryan Walker, 25 laps into his stint since coming off pit road. Since Ryan has come off pit road, he has been the fastest car on the racetrack, and that's what we've been watching him a lot of these laps here as he continues to put down big times with those newer tires.
Here's Matty. He's on Strauss right now. All the way up by the wall on that high side. He's going to have a huge run. Dials up the inside into turn 1.
And sends it to the lead. Nice job.
Dan Ench is going to surrender his position on the track to find new rubber and full fuel.
And there's he entering off of turn 3. That is the track rules today. Bringing that alz.org. Delara DW12 down pit road, getting to the speed limiter, or the speed limit cones on the speed limiter button now. And making the long trek to his stall. He pulls in, up on the jacks, new set of tires, fresh tank of fuel, and he'll be down and away and rejoining the field at the tail end of the cars currently in this running order.
Strauss is in.
And again, needing to get down to the speed limit at those cones. Speed limit, I believe, is 45 here. This is 40, excuse me. This is one of the more challenging pit roads to get on, Clendy.
I think with the turn 3 entry, it actually makes it much easier. So you don't have to worry about deep edging the car in the middle of the corner and hitting that really tight turn left. I think if you're already committed to the apron, it's much easier to enter. So I think I applaud that rule from the race stewards this week. Brian Walker handily goes by Strauss, who's on pit road. He'll have about half a lap of a lead, if not more. So now Strauss is going to have the 30-lap fresher tires. We'll see how long it takes for him to catch Walker.
So Vazzi pit road. Down and away. He's done. Heshy now your leader. Sinclair on pit road. You're right. Oh!
Orman's going to be the leader now. Look at him
Kinder.
go. He got there by pace. He passed Heshy as Heshy decided to commit to pit road, but had the pass done before Heshy got on the brakes. Now, how much Jesper will need to save in order to cut a stop, I'm unsure. But saving here your fuel is good for saving your tires, which is good for long run pace. So I would anticipate if Jesper's trying to only make one more stop, he'll need to go about 20 more laps. So if you see him pitting around lap 120, sorry, about 13 more laps, like lap 123 or 125, I think that'd be a plausible distance for him to stretch to the end. Coker and Van Gastel will be in the same boat.
And if you are just joining us, this is Velocity Online Racing's coverage of the VOR ICONIC Series with our leader, Jesper Orman, coming to pit road. We're coming to you today from Iowa Speedway for the Iowa 200. We've now completed 122 of 200 laps. Make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel so don't miss out on the next race, which is next week, the IndyCar Championship on Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern, right here at Iowa Speedway.
Jesper hit just now, so he's going to have to get a splash of gas at the end. I don't think there's any way he can go 86 laps on this tank. I think that is a number far too low.
Tim Van Gastel, who was involved in that turn 1 incident, smacked the inside wall. Looks like it's no worse for wear as he has that DW12 at least in the lead here at the moment. He is your current leader. He is 63 laps into his stint. We expect to see him on pit road now this time by. He's making that turn down into the turn 3 entrance area for pit road. It's going to turn the lead over to Coker, who will pass him on the high side. There you see Tim Van Gastel coming to pit road. So Coker on the high side. Now he will get credit for leading this lap. And now move Ryan Walker. Oh! So Vazzi almost into the backside. Yeah, he did. Wow. Oh,
Now,
did
Ryan
Shane
Walker
speed?
Go ahead.
I don't know if Shane sped coming to pit road. He had to really lock him up.
He did. He has a black flag.
Oh.
Ryan Walker will now be your leader, but Isaiah Strauss and Patrick Silvazzi are hot in pursuit.
And now Strauss is being chased with 45-lap-old tires, is your leader. And Strauss, Silvazzi, Sinclair, Hesse, Orman, Kinder, they're all on tires that are 13 laps or younger.
And by virtue of being the first of those previous leaders to pit, Strauss went from running behind Sinclair to now almost 2.5 seconds ahead of him. So that's the difference those 2 or 3 laps made on those fresher tires.
Somebody, a lot of smoke off the turn 2. Did Coker? Coker's on his 42nd hold, I think.
I think it was Jesper.
Oh, yes, it was Jesper. And right there off of 2, we've seen so many people have that happen, and that is day done for Jesper.
And it was the same thing we saw happen earlier to Perry. He got his left sides down on the apron, and it just ended his day. Trying to take too big of a bite out of the apple.
And that's going to break his win streak. I believe he's won the last 2.
From the back as well.
Yeah.
So. No 3 strikes in a row, no turkey for Orman today.
He's one at Michigan, one at Milwaukee for rounds 2 and 3. See Julian moving down there on the apron, so his repairs are done, and he's back underway, trying to get some more lap time, or at least some more time logged on the racetrack.
Look at your clock, Gary. I told you what time it would be.
And here is the remaining schedule for the Iconic Series. After this, we take a week off and then go to Kentucky. And then Indianapolis. Then we go to Kansas. A Legacy Proper Phoenix Auto Club, or as I like to say, Fontana. Homestead, and then Chicagoland to wrap up the season. That is the Iconic Series Season 5 schedule. And just to update you on the situation in the IndyCar Championship for the IR18, we will be here in Iowa next week. And then we go to Montreal for our second road course of the season. Indianapolis, Nashville, Long Beach, Homestead, and then wrapping up in Fontana at the end of the season for the IndyCar Championship.
I think Ryan Walker has gotten very lucky here. Dan Ench has slotted in behind him in a position to where he doesn't need to immediately yield to Strauss, but the dirty air is probably affecting Strauss's pace. But Walker is going to be pitting here anytime soon, probably about lap 140, so the next 10 laps. Hutchinson is also back out recirculating on the racetrack. Something that will be interesting to see is of whether or not Julian can catch Jesper. The leaders have about 70 to go, exactly 70 now, and Julian has to make up 60 laps on Jesper. So long as Julian can keep it pointed straight and not be 10 laps slower than the leaders, he will get at least one spot before this day is done.
Battle for second. Matthias Strauss and Silvazzi, also Matty Sinclair there. So this is second, third, and fourth on the racetrack. Daniel Hesse in fifth, sneaking into the picture as well.
We're going to have 5 cars under a blanket for the lead here in about 5 laps.
Yeah, they are having a problem trying to get around Inch, though. Here, pit stop, Ryan Walker, scheduled stop. So this is next to lap. Whoa! This is his last stop. This is his last stop. Okay.
He's gonna have to save just a little.
He did 60 on this stint. So let's break out the calculator.
I'll have to go 67.
That's 67. That's quite a haul. So, oh, he missed his... Oh, car in the wall. Dan Inch on his lid. And that's that might be terminal for Ryan Walker. That puts him down a lap. He might be able to get it back.
It'll just be one lap, so he'll take the wave here because I anticipate everyone else is going to pit for tires. Strauss is the one who turned Ench off of 4 as they were doing that 3-car race for the lead. I think Sinclair got by Silvazzi, so he's running second, I believe.
All right, so we're watching what happened to Inch. This is in 3 and 4. Strauss, does he come up and touch him with his right? Oh, horrible net code. And it looks like there is damage on the right front of Strauss.
Silvazzi and Sinclair stay on the racetrack, so Walker will not be able to take the wave around.
But it does look like that Strauss is, yeah, there is some damage on his front wing there. And now the lead's been turned over to Silvazzi with Sinclair in second, as I think Strauss coming to pit road.
Yeah, Sinclair just goosed it up to get past the accident and didn't check up until they got to the pace car. So that's why I thought he was running second. Apologies there. I think this race is going to come down to whether or not Ryan Walker can unlap himself on these fresh tires quickly enough for it to matter. Because he's done stopping, right? So the question becomes, is Strauss, who's pitting now, does he have damage terminal enough to where he won't be able to make it to the end? Pim Van Gastel's also pitting now, so he'll also be able to make it. And Seb Kinder has pit, and so has Heshy. They all just pit under this yellow. So Sinclair and Silvazzi are the only ones who are going to have to pit again under green, or they're banking on a caution here. And I think Heshy, by factor of having those fresher tires at the front, is going to make it very hard for Walker to unlap himself because he's basically at the tail end of the line here.
Yeah, that's exactly the situation coming to the green flag here in another lap or so. It is Silvazzi, your leader. There he is. Sinclair is second. There is Heshy in that bright yellow car. He is third. Kinder is fourth. Tessera is fifth. Van Gastel, who's had an adventuresome day, he is now sixth. Ryan Walker is caught a lap down and has had a really fast car, at least in this second stint of the race. Now he needs to somehow fight back and get that lap back. And I think the way to do that is he needs to race ahead of Heshy and then wait for Silvazzi and Sinclair to go to pit road. So when I say race ahead, he needs to get ahead of Heshy on the racetrack. And then Silvazzi and Sinclair would come to pit road for their last and final scheduled stop. Strauss back on pit road. And I think Strauss has more serious damage. He has a long stop.
His left front tire is all sorts of cockeyed.
So that might be day done in terms of a chance of a win for Strauss, who was leading at the time of that caution. Pataskowitz now in ninth, and Brooke can gain a spot here on Strauss just by passing him on the racetrack up to eighth. Inch is in 10th, and I think Inch's day might be done. Coker at 11th, and we are green flag as attrition is starting to fill the possibilities of this race up. It is Silvazzi, Sinclair, Heshy, Kinder, and Tessera, your top four. But we're going to see Ryan Walker, if he can get around and get up to Heshy and get in front of Heshy. That's going to be a big and mighty tall task right now.
And not only does he have to pass Heshy, he also has to hope that he gets a caution after he's passed Heshy. Kinder to the outside of Heshy, looking to be the first car that can make it to the end. now is in position to win this race. Should it go green? Sinclair looking to make a move on Silvazzi here for what will effectively be 7th by the time they pit.
Damage to the inside.
It flipped it on his lid, but he's still out there.
Making laps.
Chugging along. Ender is latched to the back of Sinclair. What he does not want to do is pressure either of them into a mistake. A caution here would make it so those two cars are in contention again. Because as it sits, they're going to have to pit under green. Patience! Patience! Oh, boy.
And we spoke to Kinder, at least over here at P1, earlier in the week. He finished 4th in the Classic IndyCar Series in their winter schedule at Phoenix. It was quite a very similar race, high attrition. As Sinclair now moving to the back, I'm wondering if he now knows that he needs to save. I'm not sure. Maybe he might be in this bed. He has to sleep in it now.
I do think actually it's just the dirty air from those cars on the fresh tires, of which Walker runs 3rd behind them both.
And Walker to the
Walker
inside.
looking around to Sarah.
Walker getting around to Sarah. So Walker now needs to get in front of Silvazzi, which is 2 cars ahead of him, to get back on the lead lap.
Well, Silvazzi's going to have to be pitting here sometime soon. So being in front of Kinder is what matters for Walker.
That's true. That's absolutely true.
Sinclair's choosing to pit now.
And I didn't think it was possible. I thought he had a long road to go, but man, he just moves to the front and he has got his lap back. He's at the tail end of the lead lap with the first 2, or at least 2 cars in front of him need to stop. Sinclair is one of them coming to pit road now. Did he speed?
No, he's clean.
Wow, that was close. Patrick Silvazzi coming in off of turn 3. He's on the apron.
That's the most aggressive I've seen anyone attack that inside barrier there on pit entry.
And I think he got to the pit road speed limit and the cones at that speed. So good job on him for doing that. So now Kinder is your leader with Tessera. This is a battle for the lead. Julian coming to pit road. 152 of 200. Thanks for joining us, everybody. There's Heshy and Sinclair. Sinclair with the fresh tires.
Silvazzi's going to slot in just ahead of Sinclair. They're both 2 laps down, so this first pass will just get them to 1 lap down, and these leaders are not going to pit again, presumably, unless they want the tires, so there will be no wavering. So they're going to have to make up both their laps the hard way here in the last 50 laps. And the tire differential is not big enough to where I think the pace is going to be that drastically different. Sure, they'll be faster here for the next 10 laps or so, but I think they're going to have about the same pace, 40 laps from now.
Silvazzi to the inside, back on the lead. I know he's 1 lap to go, so he's one down. Same thing for Sinclair. But Kinder, your leader. Tessera, that gray car behind him, is P2. Heshy, that yellow car a little bit further back, is in 3rd. Pim Van Gastel, who's had quite the day, starting off at lap 1 and turn 1, or maybe lap 1, turn 2. He is 4th. and Ryan Walker 5th. You know, we've seen a number of races with Van Gastel, knowingly not one of the fastest cars on the racetrack, but got himself in position by some savvy pit strategy. And once again, he's right back in that same situation. Julian purple lap that time by 191.3.
We should call Van Gastel either the Professor or the Pendulum, whichever you prefer.
Yeah, definitely. Ryan Walker is running him down, though.
10.5 seconds in arrears to the leaders, and if there was any save required, he is not saving that fuel.
Pim did an 18.3 and Ryan Walker a 17.6. Now Pim is 25 laps, so he's in the same. Now maybe we're seeing the result of his damage.
Yeah, Pim's had about that pace all day long.
Okay.
I mean, his best lap's a 17.2, right? Whereas everyone else is like at a 17 flat or a 16.9.
Here comes Walker. He's going to be there momentarily.
I really think Kinder and Tessera are running a measured pace. I think Tessera could have made a couple moves on Kinder, but has instead chosen to run behind in the drag. And I think Heshy might have been running that pace from the onset, which is why he lost touch with them to start with, but is now reeling them back in.
Ooh, little wiggle for Kinder coming off a 2.
See right there, Tessera could have cut back under Kinder, but chose to lift and just ride in the draft.
Now Julian, a third car in line, he's been very fast. Here goes Tessera. I was wondering what happened when Julian gets up there because he is very fast and he is on a different schedule and a lot higher pace. He's well down in the order. Does he get down there and race with these guys? Yeah, he does. He passes Kinder.
Well, he should just leave him in the dust with the pace differential, so it's not going to be too big of an issue. But just got to be patient. Let everyone run their own race here.
The new leader in the house, Marcos Tessera, leading his first laps here in the series. He is your leader. He's up 15 spots. He started back in 16th position. Kinder second, up 4 spots. Heshy, Castell had a moment coming off of 4. He's to the inside, very slow. Careful, careful, careful.
That moves Ryan Walker back up to 4th, and he's now only 7 seconds behind your leaders. He's going to do it the hard way, I think.
I mean,
maybe. All the way.
Maybe. Ryan does have one big-time IndyCar win to his name, although not in an IndyCar. It was in a Dallara IR01 in the Major Series in the year that the IndyCars were blacked out for broadcast streaming because of license rights. He entered an Majors Indy 500 in the Dallara IR01, and in his split won his race. So he is an Indy 500 champion on some of the highest levels here, the Major Series. If you win in the Major Series, you've definitely beat some of the best. So he won a race there. Now he's looking to get that first win in an IndyCar proper.
Well, Tessera has peeled off pit road, so I don't know if anyone could have made that number from 135 to begin with. Perhaps Silvazzi and Sinclair are in the catbird seat after all.
Well, Kinder now at 36. Tessera went 35. So Kinder now at 37. Do we see him on pit road sometime here soon?
Yeah, Kinder and Heshy either are going to save to stretch it or split it in half and pit in the next 2 to 5 laps.
29 to go. If you're just joining us, you are watching Velocity Online Racing.
Tessera spun on exit.
That's what I thought. I saw some smoke there, and that's going to hurt him and probably put him out of the running, maybe even a penalty, so we'll see what happens there.
No penalty.
No penalty. Lucky on him. We'll see exactly what happens here. But if you're just joining us, this is Velocity Online Racing's coverage of round 4 of 11 of the Iconic Series, the VOR Iconic Series, coming to you from the Iowa for the Iowa 200. Where currently, Heshy is your leader, as that has just switched over. And he leads with 26 to go. We're seeing what happened to Tessera coming off the button, just trying to get off the speed, and boom. Yeah, that's what happens. We've seen that, lived it a couple times probably. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the next race. Side by side now is Strauss back in the race, but down well in the order. Heshy is your leader. The battle right behind him is Kinder. And quickly closing is Ryan Walker in that yellow-tipped orange and red and purple car.
The P1 machine has made up 2 laps under green earlier in the race, and now 1 whole lap on the same tires as the leaders here. If he can go the distance on this tank, he is a wizard. And right behind Walker is Silvazzi and Sinclair coming to get back onto the tail end of the lead lap.
Here goes Walker to the inside of Strauss. Strauss down in the order right now, 32 laps down, had an incident. But Dan Inchwell leading. And now here comes Walker up to Heshy on the outside. Heshy does not even battle him. And Walker to the lead. He is 46 laps into his stint. Can he go another 22? And we talked about it, and there goes Silvazzi. That's for track position. But we talked about it when he made his final stop. You know, we said it was going to be right at 66, 67 laps. And we thought he could make it. Is Ryan Walker good to the end? 20 to go.
Well, another thing that Ryan has working for him now is that if there's a yellow anytime from now to the finish, he can come in, get the splash, and put on new tires. Due to there's only 3 cars in the lead lap right now.
Yep.
I mean, you come out third with brand new tires, right? There's no reason not to pit.
Yeah, Walker, Heshy, Kinder, your top 3. Only cars on the lead lap. Silvazzi, 1 lap down. Sinclair, 1 lap down. Van Gastel, 1 lap down.
Silvazzi and Sinclair are going to try really hard to unlap themselves here. But like I said earlier, the pace differential and the tire differential between themselves and Walker is not that great.
The VOR Iconic Series is brought to you by IFS Personal Financial Planning. IFS Personal Financial Planning specializes in helping their clients make the most of their savings with holistic financial planning that is tailored to their specific needs over the course of their lifetimes. On average, they've been working with their clients for over 20 years, helping them navigate the complexities of investments, the uncertainties of markets, and the ever-changing legislative landscape. To learn more, contact Alexander Bonney at alex@ifspfp.com. That again, alex@ifspfp.com. Link is in the description, and contact him to find out more. He is a proud sponsor, him and IFS Personal Financial Planning, of the VOR Iconic Series. 16 to go, coming to 15 to go.
I've got to think Walker is good on fuel. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been pushing this hard. And that makes me wonder why Heshy and Kinder have had such a measured pace, as if they're trying to hit a fuel number. I wonder if Walker knows something about having speed and economy that the others don't. Or if he's just gambling on a late race yellow.
Just push, 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 see how far you can get that delta. He has himself a 2.7-second lead.
You'd think if Walker was fishing for a yellow, he'd do what he could to walk Silvazzi back to Sinclair and hope they'd get bargy, but he seems to just be running his line.
Remember, this guy started shotgun on the field due to a penalty he received from his previous race at Texas.
And he's unlapped himself 3 times today.
He's done it the old-fashioned. He's done it the old-fashioned way. That's right. 11 to go. We're doing 17-second laps. These next 10 laps are going to fly by. Ryan wants these laps to go by as quickly as possible. And no cautions. No cautions. No whammies. No whammies. And he might want, coming into this battle now, is Matty Sinclair. And now Silvazzi's like, okay, I got to go. I'm going to get around you. Because he probably saw Sinclair coming. Now, it does Ryan no good to hold up Sinclair. He should probably just let him go. And I think that's kind of what he's doing. He's down low. Sinclair getting a big run on him. Now, Sinclair gets underneath him. I would imagine Walker lets him go. Yep, he does. So now those two are going to try to race each other. That is Sinclair and Silvazzi. This is for fourth. 8 to go. Your leader has a 2.6, now 2.7 second lead over Hesje. 10 seconds over Kinder. Silvazzi and Sinclair are one lap behind, basically. 17, 16 seconds, respectively, in front of your leader. Coming to 6 to go.
Ends the race.
Yes,
So-
a caution is going to pretty much conclude the race at this point.
Man, I've got to know Ryan Walker's secret. I'm
If
dying.
he hangs on for another 5 more laps, we're going to hear it. Hopefully, if he tells us the secret sauce in his formula. Oh, Sinclair way up. Oh, no, he's coming to pit road now. Oh, no.
Now has Hesje stretched the tank? The measured pace, the patience from Hesje and from Kinder, will it allow them to secure the top 2 spots on the podium?
Coming to 3 to go for Hesje. Did he save enough fuel? We're riding with him. I don't hear him lifting. He's going to commit to it right now. If he hasn't committed already. Coming to 2 to go. Walker back to 6th. Your new top 3, Hesje, Kinder, Silvazzi, Sinclair 4th, Van Gastel now 5th. Coming to the white flag. We've said this guy's been on the verge of a win for the last season and a half here in the VOR Iconic Series, and he's staring at it straight in the face through 1 and 2, cleanly through. Here comes Teixeira. He's not going to play a role halfway down the backstretch into 3 and 4. Daniel Hesje with fuel conservation, and he almost looks like he's coasting off of 4 to the checkered flag. Your winner here at Iowa.
I said earlier in the day that the left foot may play a large part in who wins today by braking and checking up, but in fact it was using the left foot to clutch in and coast for Daniel Hesje to make it across the line here and save the fuel. I think he's out.
He might be out, yeah. That's it. He can't tow anymore. Or he can't run. He has a co-tow. I think Silvazzi might be out too. He's on the bottom coming to a stop. Wow. Wow. What a race. And another surprise winner here. But we've known, I shouldn't say it's a surprise winner. We've known for a while that Hesje's been getting these podiums. And we've talked about it before, is podiums lead to more podiums. And more podiums lead to W's. And that's exactly what we saw in this case today with Daniel Hesje getting the win. Let's get the final results and standings up on the screen for you. Daniel Hesje getting the first career win here in the VOR Iconic Series over Seb Kinder. Get to talk to Seb Kinder twice this week here, at least I do in the booth. And Silvazzi in third. That is going to be key in the points championship. We'll see if the points change while we're in interviews and see if that helps. Silvazzi maybe get to the point lead. Matty Sinclair, fourth. Great finish for Matty. Pim just kind of coasted on home in fifth. Good finish for Pim. Ryan on the verge of a win. And now I got to think a win is not too far off in his future. Comes home sixth. But unfortunately, a late stop takes the W away from him. Teixeira in seventh. Protaskowitz in eighth. Coker in ninth. And Inch, I think at one point was on his lid. in this race. Comes home 10th, 10 laps down. Strauss at 11th. Julian not going to be happy about this one, but he does at least finish the race on the racetrack. He comes home 12th. He gets around Jesper 13th. Christensen 14th. Weber 15th. Sanchez 16th. Wagner 17th. Steiger 18th. Solwich 19th. And Perry in the Naked Clown car comes home in 20th. Is that it? Or we got one more after that. Alexander Miller, a day he wants to forget there. He comes home 21st.
Try. I think almost every competitor that pit today had to unlap themselves and did so. Buckets and buckets of grit up and down this field.
All right, let me queue up some replays here. And we'll get into the interview room.
Waiting room. Everyone is there. We've got Walker, Kinder, Perry, Pesci, Strauss, Silvazzi, and Elfman.
All right, we'll get Patrick in here in just a second. Camera on Patrick. There we go. All right. And
I've brought Patrick up for us.
Great. Patrick Silvazzi, congratulations. P3 today, kind of putting both half of those races that I keep talking about together. Fast and qual. You started 5th. You kind of hung out up there all day and come home 3rd in a crucial situation here now as we're waiting for the points to really update. You might be the new points leader at the end of all this.
I don't know. I kind of feel mixed about this because I surely knew that I maybe could have won this race because basically I finished first with those who pitted after the last caution.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, I'm really felt like a pretty rookie, pretty much a rookie because how I took out Pim when I was unlapping myself. Basically, I couldn't decide at all where to go, and that was such a complete rookie mistake by me. So, yeah.
Go ahead, Clindy.
But
finish your thought.
Yeah,
go ahead.
so-
Go ahead. Finish your thought.
No. I will finish that for Candy.
All right.
My question for you is, how big was the save from the drivers who pit on lap 135, and why did you decide not to attempt that save yourself? Did you feel that you would be faster pitting under green, or did you want to take your chances on maybe getting a yellow 15 or 20 laps into that final stint prior to your last green flag stop?
I don't think I would have been able to save. I think, at least I felt like I didn't even really think about it. To pit, and actually, I think the tires had enough life to make it. I probably could have stayed out much longer, but if I would stay until like 160, I would have not finished P3 today.
Well, you earned your 3rd place spot. You've got the
for
spotlight
sure.
from the podium. Do you have friends, family, sponsors, or shout-outs you'd like to put out into the world while you have the mic?
Yeah, another strong result for us today with Seb getting 2nd place. And it would have looked like that was like top 5 for all 3 of us, but obviously things happened. And yeah, I don't know. I don't really want to think about it heading to Kentucky as the points leader, but I don't know. It just sometimes I do feel like it's pure luck about, like, you can probably say that I'm in a good place at the good place at the good time and everything, but Okay, that I think I have the pace, but I still don't feel like that I should be like winning races nonstop. But it's a podium still, so yeah, it's fine.
Well, and those podiums add up, and we don't have the points yet. We think it's going to be close, but you might be the points leader. We will see when the points do come out. But a great run for you today. Like I said, putting together two halves of the race. You got the good qual in. You survived the race, got yourself into a good position to get a podium finish for a good points paying day when the rest of your key rivals in the points had bad days. So those are really things that you've been needing to do, and you hit on those today. That shows a lot of maturity in your racecraft. So it's good to see you up here. Good to have you talking to us again. And we will catch you at the next one when we are headed to Legacy, Kentucky, I believe, next. So
Yeah.
back to Legacy, Kentucky for us. But we'll see you in 2 weeks there.
Yeah. See you guys. Thank you. Good night.
Yeah. All right. So he's kind of happy, but not entirely happy. But I think once these points come out and once he sees how close it is, and I think he's going to be the points leader. I could be wrong. That might change. But I keep saying with Patrick, and I think you've seen this too, is we know he's fast. We've seen him qualify fast. We've seen him get up and race with the leaders, but there's always something. He gets caught in someone's crash, or he crashes himself and he makes his own mistake. Today, he put all the parts to the pieces together and came home with a solid third.
Absolutely. You just got to rein yourself in a little bit, show a little patience, and you get rewarded with points. That's how you win championships. If you don't have, if you do have the ability to be in the right place at the right time, or you have the ability to go out and whip butt every week,
Yeah.
right? And then you've got the patience to salvage a good day, right? So those are like the three approaches to winning championships, and you can't always use all three at the same time. You got to pick your weapon.
Let's bring up Seb Kinder into the booth. Here he is. Seb, twice in 1 week I get to talk to you over the CIS on Sunday over on P1, and today over on the VOR channel for finishing second here at a race that was not easy, and a lot of attrition out there. And but you brought your car home in second spot here on a day that. To survive, the Drive to Survive was not just a title that you see on Netflix. It was actually how to live the race.
Welcome to Drive to Survive, special episode VOR ICONIC at Iowa, where surviving crashes and fuel saving is the main episode.
Well, let's talk about the fuel saving. What was the secret out there for you?
Half throttle all the way,
That'll do it.
and just and have your teammate give you a bit of a draft, thanks to Matthias Strauss, who
That'll do it too.
That'll do it. Yeah, that'll do it. So yeah, that was the two main factors for this to make it work.
Go ahead, Clindy.
Yeah, so when you saw other drivers who would pit with you and had more pace or less measured pace than you, for example, when Tissera went by, or when Ryan Walker unlapped himself from pitting on the same lap as you all, were you worried at all that perhaps they knew something you didn't about making a fuel number and having good pace?
I mean, I know I probably was maybe a bit too over aggressive on the earlier part of my stint, so I know it would have maybe bited me in the ass later. And honestly, I wasn't worried. I just wanted to rally the end, especially when I'll let you in on this secret. I wanted to survive because my force feedback was failing in the corners. So like I'm turning the wheel and then it's nothing.
Wow.
And then it comes back up, and I don't know if it's like getting into safe mode or it was overheating, because when the race was done, when I touched it, it was actually quite hot. So yeah, maybe dust it off, maybe, or yeah, some expansion is to be done.
Well,
we
yeah,
know a couple people.
sometimes we have to do maintenance on our own stuff, not just our virtual car.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've done in the IFRN Track Series, I've done enough maintenance on my car. Like, there's like billions of dollars worth of damage there. So yeah, I'd rather like, now let's just dust off. It costs nothing.
Go ahead, Clint. He didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was just going to say that yeah, you had an incredible race today. Good drive, way to be patient and way to survive. Put yourself in the right place and be smart with your right foot. So you can take all the time you'd like for this silver medal to shout out any friends, family, sponsors, or associates you'd like to. The floor is all yours.
Well, grab some popcorns because there's a lot in here. So shout out to my two teammates, Matthias Strauss and Patrick Silvasi. They were the two fastest car in the Team Watson Racing stable. The only reason why I'm ahead of both of them is by pure and sheer luck. Shout out to all the guys at Team Watson Racing setups. Make sure to go check our setups at teamwatsonracing.com. Shout outs to the National Racing Network, a long time partner of ours. The Icon Apparel, which have provided me gloves and even a jersey, the Team Watson Racing jersey that I'm wearing right now. So it's always kind of fun, being really in the mood of being the team driver. And just shout out to everyone who's watching this race, and shout outs to you guys for broadcasting week in and week out all those beautiful races.
Well, it's good to have you here, and good to have you back in the booth again twice in 1 week. Congratulations, good week for you.
Don't get used to that.
Started off the week with the 4th place at a very high attrition race in the Classic IndyCar Series, the winter schedule at Phoenix, and a very high attrition race like today, as a matter of fact, and then comes back today in another high attrition race as we're watching the replay of how he almost got hit in one of those turn 2 wrecks. But yeah, drive to survive. You did it today, man, and congratulations. Good to see you on the podium, and we'll catch you at the next race in Kentucky.
Yes. See you there in Kentucky. I don't know when it is. But yeah, I'll make sure to catch up if I'm not skiing.
Oh, that's right. Mr. European going out there and go skiing. Rub it in.
Oh, come on, Gary. In French, it's faire du ski.
Oui, bah écoute, oui, c'est faire du ski, exactement. Oui, tu as raison, Kyle.
Oui. Je parle un peu français. J'ai étudié depuis 8 ans à l'école. Merci.
Oh, that's actually a good accent. That's actually a good French. So, yeah, congratulations. It's not an easy language to learn.
Ouais, je parle comme un Parisien.
Ouais, alors non, peut-être pas comme un Parisien, puisque le Parisien c'est moi. Mais bon, allez.
Oh.
Learn French for your class.
I'm just taking it all in. Well, congratulations, and we'll catch you at the next one. English or French, It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, we could do the whole interview in French if you want, guys. That would be fun.
Peut-être, mais non, parce que mon français est très mal.
Your French is good, dude. Your French is good.
Merci. Bonsoir.
All right. We'll catch you later, Seb. Actually, we might do this. Next time you make the podium, I will let Kyle do the whole interview in French. And we'll just be all sitting there guessing about what was said. But good to have you here again. We'll catch you in a couple weeks when we go back to racing again in the Iconic Series.
Yeah, or maybe in the main series because
there is a possibility there too. Yeah. Yep.
So yeah.
Next week.
See you guys there.
See ya. He's a very happy guy. He is a very happy guy. But we're going to bring this next guy up who's even more happy. And he's been waiting his turn. Here he is. Daniel Hesse, big win today at Iowa. And we've been talking about it in the broadcast. You keep finishing on those podiums, which you have. Finish, podium. And eventually those podiums all going to add up to a win. And that win came today. Congratulations, sir. We're so happy for you. Talk about your race.
Hey guys, I'm very happy with the result, Kyle and Gary. So I was feeling this season kind of dumb because for 2 weeks in a row, I left a tire to be used and the yellow never came for me to use that. So I lost a lot of space in the race because I had older tires than everyone. And when I came here in Iowa is it's a race I think I never did in a league, especially in the W12. I never did a race in Iowa here, so I had no idea what to expect. But I had a mission that I need to spend all my tires in the race. And then this yellow flag came near the end, and I left the tire in the box. So if we had a yellow in the end, I would still have a new tire to race. and I was making the calculations. I feel that was possible to finish the race, but I need to be careful. I saw everyone going very fast in the restart, and I thought I wasn't gonna be the only one who had a shot to win because of the speed difference. So I was holding my rhythm to guarantee I had a lap. So I finished it with an extra lap in the checkered flag.
Wow. Go ahead, Clindy.
Yeah, I could tell from the onset that you had a much more measured pace, and it paid off for you. You were reeling those guys in and didn't have to save as much at the end. I had asked Kinder this question. I want to ask it to you. Were you worried at all that Ryan Walker could make it to the end on fuel? Did you think that maybe he knew something you didn't about going fast and saving at the same time?
No, no. I was so sure he had to stop. There was no shot because I was way slower than him. And during the race, I felt I was the fastest driver during the full course of a stint. So everybody who was running more than me, they would not have the fuel to end. So I was doing exactly what I needed to finish. So this was not a possibility. I was more concerned with Matty. So I didn't know the difference in rhythm with the new tires. So maybe he could give a lap on everyone with new tires. He was the one I was most concerned, but I have people from the Black Gold team around me, especially Amaury. He was with me there, so he was telling me that the rhythm is not enough to be close to me, so I could be going easy to the end.
Yep, exactly. It sounds like you had a good team in your corner, a good spotters on the spotter stand giving you good information. Everybody else you want to shout out on your team or family or sponsors?
For sure. Our sponsors first, so we need to talk about Maconi Setup Shop, our main sponsor of setups. We have a Brazilian company of equipment for sim racing, that RMS Sim Racing, and also TS, who makes apparel for racers in real life and also virtual racers. Big shout out to my team, Black Gold Racing. We have a lot of drivers out there racing, and they were there with me in the end of this race, helping me with the strategy too. And of course to my family, to my wife, to my mom, who always watch my races. And I'm very happy to be here, of course. Thank you to Julian, everyone from the Velocity Online, and thank you guys. You always make a show for every race.
Well, it's great when we have you guys put on the show, exactly. And I was getting ready to say, you guys make it exciting for us to call the action, and then it is always and I'll speak for Clindy, but he could probably echo my thought here. It's always so exciting to call a first time win in the series for somebody. So, welcome to the family of winners here in the VOR Iconic Series. And real quick, I want to update you on the points because this might surprise you unless you've been refreshing the points page over on Sim Racer Hub. But Daniel, you are the points leader with 129 points, 2 points over Liam O'Sullivan and 9 points over Patrick Silvazzi. That is the top 3 in the points going into the next round. You are the points leader.
Wow, so Julian told me that just before I came here. I had no idea. I wasn't watching the standings because I was so furious because of so many weeks that I was missing on the strategy despite having the pace to be on the front. So I'm surprised to be the first, but I know it won't be easy because there are drivers very good in this league with more experience in this car than me, and also more experience in the league and the points format. So I know it won't be easy, but I'll do my best.
Well, we shall see. You're the leader, so now they have to pass you. Congratulations on the win. Congratulations on being the points leader after 4 rounds, and we will see you at the next race when we go to Legacy, Kentucky.
Thank you, guys. Have a nice week.
And go party. I know you guys in Brazil are going to have a fun time celebrating this one. All right, so party in Brazil. Daniel Hesse, first win here in the Iconic Series. And like I said, we'd love to see first-time winners, Clindy.
Yeah, Carnival came early in the land of the corn for Daniel today. So hopefully we can bring that energy next week when we go to Bourbon Country in Kentucky.
Yeah, final thoughts before we exit and move on out of here for the next race, which we got on. We'll bring in the schedule of cross on the on the screen here. Legacy Kentucky's next, and then we head to Indianapolis. But final thoughts here in corn country. If you build it, they will come, and they all were here today. And it was a bit of an attrition-filled race, but they definitely made it exciting there at the end. First-time winner.
Yeah, field of nightmares for some rather than a field of dreams. But Daniel Hesje, Seb Kinder, Patrick Silvazzi, and to an extent, Maddie Sinclair, coming home fourth, all really showed a lot of guts today, sticking to their strategies. And you had two different strategies there on the podium there. It's just really great to see a race where strategy is important and strategy matters, and either strategy is viable. While there may have been a 6-second differential between the two, an extra lap of saving may have made it so that was not possible at all for the other competitors. Like if Daniel said he had one extra lap in the tank and he needed to do that one extra lap under green, perhaps that difference between him and Silvazzi would have been 4 seconds, 3 seconds. But you can't ask for a photo finish every week. Sometimes it comes down to strategy, and when it's played as excellently as it was today, it was just a treat to call and a treat to watch.
Can't say anything better myself, so let's get on out of here. That's going to be it for today. Once again, your podium for the Iowa 200 from Iowa Speedway. Patrick Silvazzi puts all the parts of the races together, comes home on the podium, is now third place in points now, right behind Liam O'Sullivan, who's second. And Seb Kinder, who comes home second today here on the racetrack. Twice that we've had him on the broadcast over either here on V1 or over on P1 or over on VOR, this week. So a good week for him. And Daniel Hesje is going to end the week on a high note with a big dub here at Iowa on VOR. But that is our podium for today. Join Clindy and myself Friday, February 21st for round 5 of season 5 of the VOR Iconic Series, as the teams and drivers head to Legacy Kentucky Speedway, which we just did 200 laps at last night, Clindy. So I'm more of the same, but I guess it's the more proper version of Kentucky, the one that everyone tends to like. Coverage, as always, will start about 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, that's 4:00 p.m. Remember, all new season, and for correct broadcast time in your area, you can find everything here on YouTube at youtube.com. Just search Velocity Online Racing. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game's not an easy one, so please help support us with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below. Let us know you thought of tonight's race. If you enjoyed tonight's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video. If you're new, click subscribe, or while you gotta hit the bell for weekly reminders so don't miss out on more of Velocity Online Racing's other iRacing programming, including action from their IR18 IndyCar Championship, which is next week. You'll see us right here, 3 p.m. Eastern next Saturday at Iowa. We'll be right here. We're not going anywhere for the next week. We're going to stay right here in Des Moines, or virtual Des Moines. But that's next week. Join us. Virtual Newton. Yes, exactly. The VOR Iconic Series is brought to you by IFS Personal Financial Planning. IFS Personal Financial Planning specializes in helping their clients make the most of their savings with holistic financial planning that is tailored to their specific needs over the course of their lifetimes. On average, they've been working with their clients for over 20 years, helping them navigate the complexities of investments, the uncertainties of markets, and the ever-changing legislative landscape. To learn more, contact Alexander Bonney at alex@ifspfp.com. You'll find that email in the description, and you can use it today. Track cams for this race are provided by Whiplash Sim Cams. Get the most out of your iRacing experience with the Whiplash Sim Cams. To learn more about Whiplash, like them on Facebook or follow them on Twitter and Instagram. Links are in the description. For business inquiries, to learn more about Velocity Online Racing and what they do, visit velocityonlineracing.com. Like them on Facebook or follow them on X. So for Clindy, everyone here at Velocity Online Racing, I'm Gary Godsoe saying to all, happy Friday. Thanks for watching. And to all of our men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Catch us again right here in 2 weeks at Legacy, Kentucky for the next race up, the Velocity Online Racing Iconic Series. We'll see ya.